Hello FlossTube, it's Kate, Madam Ice, and welcome back to my FlossTube channel. This is FlossTube number 3 for me, which is pretty exciting. I am happy to be here. I hope everyone that is in the United States had a great Thanksgiving with their families. Josh and I were able to go back to Minnesota this year to be with his family for Thanksgiving, and that was super fun. So I just hope that everyone had a great time. It's been about 5 weeks since my last video. It's my long weekend again, so here I am. And let's get started. I'm doing this without any notes this time, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to start with whips. It's just the top on my pile. So the first one I'm going to show you is an update on my no face design for my friend. So I'm going to go ahead and post a picture of the finished design again over here. I did that on my first one, but just in case. So here I am on it. So I think it's coming along. I worked some more on the black and got a little bit more done on the flowers over here and here. So I was able to work on it on the plain a lot. It's a good plain project because, to be honest, just stitching endless black is pretty easy. I do kind of have to make a deal with myself when I'm working on it where I work on 3 strands of black and then I get 1 of color, because if I just do all black it gets a little bit too boring for me. But I think it's coming along pretty well. I do have a deadline. I need to finish it before my friend graduates, which is in January. So I probably need to make some pretty significant progress this month so I can go ahead and get it FFO'd for her before she needs to leave the area. So that is no face. Let's see what's next. Next up is, oh, got some dog hair. Some specialty fibers dog hair. So the next one up is my class schedule stitch along from Armada Designs, Harry Potter themed. And here is the overall design where I have it. Sorry, we're getting some glare. We have some nice, beautiful sunshine coming in this window, but it kind of makes a little bit of glare sometimes. So, I don't remember. I think last time I showed you Defense Against the Dark Arts. And I think I had it all the way done last time. So, this was the November block, Divination. So the inside there of this crystal ball. So, the inside of it was stitched in DMC variegated floss number 53, and it goes light gray into dark gray, and then of course the grim was stitched in black. So when I bought this stitch along, I bought the full kit. So she sent all the floss and the fabric and the pattern and all of that. So the 2 pieces of DMC 53 that she sent me, one of them had some of that nice light gray in there, which I think is what, you know, you're kind of going for, but the other piece of it was completely dark gray. It didn't even look variegated. There was some very slight dark gray to even darker gray in it. So I tried to stitch it in a way so that the grim still stood out, and I think it does just fine. But you can tell the entire bottom of this crystal ball is pretty much just black darkness, which is a little unfortunate, but I think it worked out. And I tried to stitch it so it looked like clouds in there. I think it worked out alright. So I'm excited to get it done. Next time I come back to you on FlossTube, that project should be done. Finished. Probably not fully finished. I do have some fun ideas for fully finishing it, but should be done next time, which is really exciting. Alright, and then the next one is my legendary creature stitch along from CloudsFactory. I'll go over here so we get less of the glare. This is the overall where it's at, and then here we go zooming in. I think, let's see, last time I think I talked about the Wendigo. I think I talked about the Vricolagus, or however you say it, which is like a vampire creature, and then I think I didn't have the Urayuli done yet. So there's a close-up of him. He's kind of like a Yeti kind of looking creature. He comes from somewhere cold. I forgot to look it up before I came on here. And then the November letters, there was 3 of them. So the first one was the T for Thunderbird. The S for Swamp Monster. He's kind of cute, isn't he? And then X, I think it's pronounced Xana. It's a siren type woman from somewhere. I don't remember. I probably should have looked that up before I came on here. But when I was stitching this, if you just take a moment and look at the Urayuli over here and the Swamp Monster over here, they're extremely similar to me. They've got the same kind of long arm business going on. I think that the Swamp Monster is just an Urayuli who fell in the slime of a swamp, and this is him trying to get out of it. It's just my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. And then the next book that I'm going to show you is actually my secret stitch. So, November, if I'm honest, was not a very good month for me for stitching. I didn't feel like I got a whole bunch of time, so I don't have really that many whips. I have those few, and then I have my secret stitch that I worked a little bit on. I still don't want to show you guys what the overall design is, because this is a design that I made myself, and I want to get it all the way done before I throw it out there into public view. Eventually someday, I think maybe I would like to start designing patterns. It kind of just depends. I'm gonna start designing them for myself, and I'm gonna start stitching them for myself, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see if I'm any good at it first, So, this is one that I designed myself, and I'm working on stitching in it, but I don't want to show you, obviously, the details of it. So, this is the compromise I came up with, because I also still want to share progress and show you that I'm, working on something. So, the kind of compromise that I came up with is that I'm going to show you the back. I'm going to show you the back of it. You're going to be able to tell what the overall probably subject matter is of it right now. It's not a very hard one for this one and where I'm at with it. But later on, when I get it done, I will do a reveal where I turn it around and you can see the front of it. But I think that this is a good compromise for how I can show you some progress but still kind of keep it secret. So, are you ready to see the back of my cross stitching? I know this doesn't happen very often with people, but this is how I'm going to go about it. And no, I'm not taking out the Q-snap because you'll be able to see it all. So here it is. So I'm positive that you're going to be able to tell what this is. But what I worked on this month was this brown part going down here. So there it is, my secret stitch. Someday I will finish it and I will turn it around and it'll be a big reveal. But for now, that's all you're going to get. Thought that was kind of fun. You can give me your opinions on whether or not that was a good compromise. Alright. Next up, well, first I want to talk, unfortunately I didn't get any pictures of these things, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I did some cross-stitch outreach this month. So, earlier this month, my husband was in a wedding, so he went home back to Iowa for the wedding, and I stayed here, and I had one of my friend who I'm making the no face cross stitch for. She came over, and we did kind of a girls' night while he was gone. So that was super fun. But during that night, I was showing her all my cross stitch stuff because she's a really good friend, and she was asking about it, and so I was just going on and on about it. And I had bought from Hobby Lobby a bunch of those beginners kits, the small ones, like Plaid Busilla, or how we say that, makes a bunch of them, but you know what I'm talking about, the small ones that are made for beginners. It's got everything in there that you need, and I had a pile of them, and I had bought them because I wanted to take them to Minnesota for Thanksgiving with me. And I wanted to do that because Josh has a bunch of nephews and one niece that goes to Thanksgiving. He has more, but they live kind of far away and don't travel. So, anyways, I know that there's only going to be his one niece and a bunch of nephews running around, and she's 13 now, and you know, she's got 3 brothers. She does fine with a group of boys and everything, but I just thought it might be kind of fun to see if she would be interested at all in cross-stitching, and maybe it was something that I could show her how to do while I was there. So anyways, I had this pile of cross-stitching, these tiny kits out, and my friend saw one, and it was a fox, and she goes, I really like that fox kit there. And I said, Haley, if you want it, I bought those so that I could give them away to people to see if they want to try cross-stitching. And she was like, I can't take your kit. And I was like, Haley, please take the kit. So she ended up taking it, and we ended up spending our girls' night cross-stitching at the dining table in my house, which was super fun. I'm not really sure how far she is on it. She hasn't sent me a picture in a little bit, but I think she had fun. So that was nice. I enjoyed showing her how to cross stitch. And then, of course, I did take those tiny kits to Minnesota. And what's funny is our niece, Lucy, she did take a pattern. She took it was a little pineapple, and she thought it was cute, and she took it, and she wants to try it. But she was, I think, so happy just spending time with her cousins that she didn't really want to sit down and work on it, which is perfectly fine. But my sister-in-law, who is the one who I went out to visit in California, she was there, and she picked one that had a hedgehog and a mushroom, and she started working on that. She's not a new cross-stitcher. She has done some projects for friends and stuff for weddings, but anyway, so she wanted to work on one, so she picked the hedgehog and mushroom one. And then Lucy's dad, my brother-in-law, Bryce, actually picked up that same fox kit that my friend Haley had done. He picked up that one and started cross-stitching on that. So that was pretty fun. I was really excited that, you know, other people seemed kind of interested. And that's the reason I bought them, because I just wanted, you know, to see if anyone wanted to stitch for a little bit while we were all hanging out for Thanksgiving. So, cross-stitch outreach. That's what I got. Yeah. Alright, so I have worked on my diamond painting just a little bit. The flowery cow. And here, I'm going to peel back the plastic. Sorry, crinkle. Here is where I am on her. She's so sparkly. You know, I've still got plenty to go, but I really don't work on her very often. You know, just a little bit here and there when I get the inkling. Uh-oh. Don't know where to put it. Alright. So that's pretty much all the things that I worked on in the past 5 weeks. Yeah. So what's next? I think Hall is next. Alright, so I do have some things. So, first of all, when I was in Minnesota for Thanksgiving, they are in Minneapolis, and so I was able to get over to Stitchville. I was able to go to Stitchville. It was super fun. Stitchville is definitely a lot. There's a lot of stuff there. So I was kind of not trying, I could have spent all day there, but I was trying to be pretty fast because I went to Minnesota to see family. I didn't go to Minnesota to go to Stitchville all day. So my couple of my sister-in-laws went with me. It was a long drive. It was almost an hour to get from their house all the way over to Stitchville. So I didn't want to take that much time there. I so could have spent all day there. But I picked out a few things. I tried to limit myself. I went on the hunt for specifically Thanksgiving kind of themed stuff because I was there for Thanksgiving. I wanted to get things that reminded me of being there for Thanksgiving. And that helped narrow it down so I didn't spend all day just wandering around the shop aimlessly. So I got a few patterns. Let's see. Yep, that's the end of this pile. So the first one is from Chris's Stitches. It's called Colors of Autumn, Chart 3. Oh, that makes me nervous. No, it's okay. Everything that's on the front is in here. Okay, so I got this pattern specifically because I really like this Argyle pumpkin. So I think that you know, some of the other motifs are cute. I like this squirrel. This bird's kind of cute too. But specifically, that Argyle pumpkin is super cute. I'm moving the light a little bit. Yep. There it is. Alright. So, that is pattern number 1. Then I got this Twisted Threads Thanksgiving Trio. And I think that the pictures probably just aren't very good on this, but that's kind of how it always goes, right? But I really like this turkey with the alphabet up there. And I like this with the buttons. So, you know, they're smalls. I also want to try to work on some more smalls because right now I just work on a bunch of big things and then I never finish anything because they're all huge. So I think that'll be good. Then this one is Country Spirits. Homespun Elegance. Delivering Plenty. It's a turkey pulling a wagon full of good stuff. So I thought it was hilarious. And so I bought it. But yeah, again, I don't think this picture is probably very good, but I'm excited to do this just because I think it's hilarious. Alright. And the last one, I got it because it was on the wall. And of course, that's how they get you, is when they stitch things up and you see them and they're so beautiful that you have to buy it. So that's what this one was. This is Plum Street Samplers, the Gobble. I didn't take it out of the plastic here, but there it is. Maybe if there's a turkey sound next year, I can stitch this one with it. I mean, I'll be pretty set. That was 3 separate patterns with turkeys in it, so, you know. Alright, and then while I was there, sorry, crinkle it. I also got a few small pieces of fabric. Again, I'm trying to do small things, so small pieces should be fine, right? But I got, this is Picture This Plus Velt, 36 count. Here. Just kind of a green brown color. And I don't really know what brand this is. Can anyone tell me? I'm going to hold up the thing. It's just a little piece. What brand is that? It's obviously Kelp, but what is this 77? I don't know who makes that. But, yeah, just this tiny piece of Kelp. It is kind of a seam foamy green. It's not really coming across super great, I don't think. It's more green than it's showing up. Maybe if I hold it. Nope. Well, it's just a little bit more green than it's showing up here. It's kind of there. It's kind of showing up, but all right. Then I got a piece of Newcastle 40 count cream, just basic, so that you know can stitch anything on that. And then this is 40 count mallow linen. So yeah, got some good new linens to try out. Okay, and then let's see what else. Oh, so a while ago, Jenny Long Dog Stitcher, she got a bunch of haul from, it was I think a woman at her church that was had kind of done cross stitching or whatever, and so she showed us a bunch of things, and she said, if anyone wants any of this, just let me know, and you know, I'll send it out to you. And I was like, I saw a couple things, and I messaged her on Instagram, and she sent them out to me, so that was super nice. So this first one is a needlepoint kit, which I've never done needlepoint, but it's tiger lilies. It's a big tiger lily pillow. So there we go. I love tiger lilies. They are my favorite flower. And so that was why I asked for that one. And it should be fun. Like I said, I've never done it. I don't have any idea at all how to do a basket weave stitch. I know that you're supposed to, so that it doesn't warp your fabric. I have no idea how to do it, so I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos, or if any of you know how to do basket weave and feel like teaching me, please let me know. Yeah. And then this next one is a Bucilla kit called Hibiscus. It has all the threads in there and stuff. I like hibiscus flowers a lot. It always makes me think. So when I was in college, I studied abroad in Jordan, and they had like hibiscus juice that they would serve sometimes, and so every time I look at the flowers, I think about the hibiscus juice that we had over there. It was pretty good. Then this last one is a Winnie the Pooh alphabet by Designer Stitches. I don't know that brand at all. It's kind of in the package isn't in the best shape, but let's see if I can get it out. Alright, so here is the front of it. So it's an alphabet, which I don't know why, I just seem to gravitate towards the alphabets, but anyways, I like that the like Pooh, all these illustrations seem to be based on the more like original Winnie the Pooh illustrations, which I think is super fun. I do like Winnie the Pooh, so anyways, I thought it was super cute. And it has the threads in that also, but no fabric, I don't think. Nope. Okay, then, Joann's had a sale earlier this month. I think they might have redone it on Black Friday, but before Black Friday, they had a sale on DMC, and it was 40 cents a skein. And so naturally, I went to Joann's, and I bought a ton of DMC. A ton. I took a bunch of patterns with me. I was there for hours, and I'll explain why I was there for so long. But I didn't end up kitting up all the patterns that I had brought with me because it would have taken even longer, and my husband was texting me asking where I was because I said I would only be out for a little bit, and I was gone for a long time. But anyways, so here, I'm just going to show you the bag of DMC. So this is my haul from that 40-cent DMC sale. It was great. It was great. And I'll show you the patterns that I was kitting up. So, let's see, where should I start? So, the first one that I kitted up is from a Just Cross Stitch. It was a recent one, August 2018. So this is the front of the magazine, and then let's see if I can show you just the. It's called Fairy's Retreat, and it says, "A book is a dream you hold in your hands," and I just think that's a sweet saying. And I like fairy. I like the fairy. I like the mushrooms. I've always been more of a fan of the fantasy genre. I went to a very small high school. We had a very small library. By the time I was in 8th grade, I had read every single book that they had that you could search under the category of fantasy. So, anyways, I just think that's a very sweet pattern. So I kitted that up. This is a pattern that I got from friends. So my Stitchy group, there's been a couple times that one of them will want to be destashing or whatever, and they'll bring a box of a bunch of patterns that they've accumulated over their life, and I am a sucker for that, and so I always bring home way more than I will ever get done. But one of them that I would like to get done, it looks kind of dated, but I want to try to see if I can update it just by stitching it on a different fabric, or, you know, I think the framing has a lot to do with it, but it's Jewels of the Sea collection, windowsill shells. But I think it's super fun how it, like, just fades out and in. So I think it could be pretty. So once I figure out what fabric and stuff, if you guys have any ideas for how I could do it where it might look a little bit more updated but still be, you know, obviously it just looks so cool how it fades in and out like that, I think. Alright, the next one is actually one that I got from a giveaway from Bendy Stitchy. I love her giveaways. She's so generous, is she not? But this is another, it's a tiger lily, of course, because I love tiger lilies. They're my favorite. So here is what this one looks like. So I also got all the threads for this. There were some that they didn't have. There were some threads that I couldn't find there. I think that they might have had more in the back or whatever, but I was like a couple here and there, and I'll just come back and get them when they're, you know, normal price, because it won't necessarily break the bank. But this is the last one that I kitted up while I was there, and this is the one that is the reason that I took it so long. So this is Leisure Arts from December of 1993, and I was born in 1993, but that's not why I got this magazine. It's because I really like the cover Santa. So here's this Santa on the cover, and I really like him. The thing is, I don't do red Christmas in my house. I do blue and silver. So I don't want to stitch him in this red and brown and gold. I want to stitch him in blue and silver. So the reason that it took so long for me and Joanne's because I made my first attempt at a color conversion. So we'll see how it goes once I start stitching it. I don't think I'm going to be able to start him for a while. I've got plenty of other projects, but I have written down, it's called Rooftop St. Nick. I don't think I ever said that, but I've written down all the, things that I'm converting, and it took me a really long time of pulling all the original ones and then searching through, pulling a bunch of different colors, like holding them up, trying to make sure I had the same, kind of gradient of color going on. So we'll see how it goes. The one thing that I'm not really sure about is this part of his jacket. The reds I think will be fine. I think the conversion for the blues will be alright. But this part of the jacket I turned much more into like a dark gray. And then his belts and his gloves is like a lighter gray or silvery. And then his boots I made a little bit darker too, darker gray. But I'm not quite sure if that dark gray will look super good. I'm going to just start stitching it and we'll see. But anyways, I just think he is super cute. I like the brick. Yeah. Someday I'll start it. Someday. And then I have one more piece of haul. This is from another giveaway. Jacque from Cross My Stitches. She did a giveaway, and I don't know how I missed it. I'm still really sorry, Jacque. If you watch this, I don't know how I missed it the first time that you called it out, but I'm really, really glad and thankful that you called my name out a second time in your next video so that I could pay attention and hear that you were calling my name. So, this is called Christmas All Through the House, and it is a super fun pattern because you stitch two different pieces of fabric. So it kind of shows you down here. So you do one that is the house, and you do heart hanger on the windows here, here, and here. And so you do heart hanger to pull out the windows so that it's see-through, and then you stitch the Christmas tree and the candle on a separate piece of fabric and then layer them on top of each other, and so you get this effect. And I think that is so fun. And I actually have seen this pattern before. I have a friend that has this magazine that it came out of, which to be honest, I don't really know what magazine this came from. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, September, October 1994. So, I've seen this pattern before, and my friend has it, and that pattern is the reason that I decided I wanted to learn how to do heart hanger, because I want to make that pattern. So, I hope to start that one sooner rather than later. I have some ideas for how to change the colors up a little bit, and we'll see though. But I do want to start that kind of soon. So that kind of ends my cross stitching haul. I did get a little bit of home decorating haul, which is not normal for me. But when I was in Hobby Lobby getting all those small kits, I got one of these, I think they're called cloches, that I've seen other people get recently. So I just figured I'd show you. And the pumpkins that I had showed you last time that I made, I just put them in it for now. And this sits on my dining table, just right in the middle. So, you know, as I continue making things and hopefully get some smalls made, I would like to start putting them in this on the table, so I can display my smalls in my house. I really like that it's covered. I like that it has that glass cover on it. My husband and I, we have a pet chinchilla, and I'll just go ahead and insert a picture of him over here, because a lot of times when I say I have a pet chinchilla, people say, what's a chinchilla? So I'll just put a picture of him over here so that you can see what a chinchilla is. But he, if you've never had one, they take dust baths, which means that when they are dirty and want to feel clean, they roll around in a bunch of very fine dust. And it's very adorable. I highly encourage you to Google or look up on YouTube videos of chinchillas taking dust baths, because it's so fun. But what isn't as fun is your entire house gets covered in a layer of very fine dust extremely quickly. So I like that cover on it, because nothing is free of the dust. It's everywhere all the time. So anyways, I do have one more thing over here that I'm going to show you. You know, I hesitate to show you this because it kind of shows off my level of crazy, but I think you're all kindred spirits, right? We're all friends here, so I'll just show you how kind of crazy I am. So, a lot of people collect orts. I know that for a while everyone was putting them outside for the birds, but then we all determined that that isn't safe for the birds because it draws attention to their nests. Well, I also collect my orts, but I collect them and then I separate and sort them into colors, and I do this with them. So I bought a whole bunch of these tiny glass Christmas ornaments. So I'm just going to show you one that's full. I have this whole bunch of tiny glass Christmas ornaments that are see-through, and I sort the colors of my orts and I fill ornaments with them. So that is the only one that I have super full right now. Here's my green one. Here's a red one. And an orange one. I don't have very much orange. You can really tell what colors I stitch with the most because it, you know, obviously fills up a lot faster. It's kind of a tan gold one. Anyway, so I collect my orts while I'm stitching in this little glass jar. And as you can see, I definitely need to go through and sort them, and I think I'm going to do that for a little bit this afternoon, is sort them and start filling some more ornaments, because now it's the season. I need to be able to put those ornaments out, so I need to fill some more and put them out on the tree. But that is what I do with my orts. I know that there are people that get the glass ornaments and I think that they just put all of them in there like as a mishmash, but I of course had to be crazy. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. I had to be crazy and I had to sort them all out so I would have different colored string-filled ornaments. Alright. Well, I don't think you can hear it. I hope you can't hear it, but my stomach is growling. It's about time for lunch, and I think I'll just leave you with that thought of how insane Kate Madamice is. So, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like and comment. I know I don't respond to them as much as I should. Really, I don't respond to them at all, but I read every single one, and I really appreciate them, and I like them, and I give them thumbs up. I've really only recently been able to start forcing myself to comment on my favorite FlossTubers videos on a regular basis. I don't know what it is, but I just struggle with writing comments, and I get kind of anxious about what I'm writing and whether or not it comes off right and all those things. So just keep remember that if you comment, I love them, and I will try to reply to some of them, but I can't make any promises. I'm still working on my comment game here on FlossTube. So, anyways, thanks again. Now I'm just rambling, so I will see you when I see you. Thank you. Bye.